To another episode of Millionaires Are Made, the show where we believe you can be a millionaire in all six aspects of health. It's not just your financial health, it's also your mental health, your physical health, spiritual health, social health, and intellectual health. Today, our episode is going to focus on your social health, and we're going to focus on boundaries. Pretty big topic, pretty massive right now. I feel like it's been getting bigger and bigger. People setting their boundaries and making sure that their inner circles are stronger than ever. If you haven't seen Millionaires Are Made before, this is a show built on the fundamental belief that every person you meet knows something that you don't, and there's something to be learned from everybody in this big, beautiful world. In the spirit of authenticity, my team doesn't even tell me who my guests are till about 15 minutes before the show when we go over logistics and how the show's going to work. So these tips that they're giving come straight from them with no bias, no persuasion. It's all just their life journey and their perspective. So hopefully you'll learn something from all four tips. Maybe you will only learn one or two, but either way, we hope you grow. Audience, please, we love engagement. Comment, ask questions. There's nothing more fun than hearing your thoughts. We do have a shout out to our audience. We have 3 of our TikTok followers I'm going to shout out. Andrea, Jessica Nonoya, and Nina K. Thank you so much for following us. We love you. If you want to be shouted out on the show, go follow us, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere, and hopefully we'll get you shouted out. If you are a host with a podcast and you need guests, check us out. We have 4 awesome guests right here. You're about to watch them live. They would love to be on your podcast to help share knowledge for the world and help society grow. Please let us know. Contact us if you're interested. Audience, you guys make the best guests. We're always looking for guests. We need tons and tons of guests, and we believe everybody has something to share, so I know you would make a perfect guest. Feel free to sign up. The link is being dropped right now. Check us out. Get on our show. I'd love to talk to you and hear your thoughts. On that note, if you have any topics for us to cover, we love ideas as well. We love topics on social health, physical health, all 6 aspects of health. If there's anything you're struggling or going through or something you just want to learn about, send it to us. We'll go find 3 people with tips and we'll teach you a little something about it. If you love learning and you love this show and you love how we get all this information and share it with you guys, I do one-on-one free coaching as part of my Give Back to the World initiative. So if you want to have some free coaching one-on-one with me and learn about something, I meet with experts every week, so I kind of learn a lot every week. And I can also direct you to people that have way more knowledge than me, but feel free to sign up for a coaching session and I'll tell you everything I know, or at least connect you with people that know more than me. And if you do like what we do, please subscribe, share, like. We just hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. We've been doing this for about 6 to 8 months. I don't even know, probably 8 months. So we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. We'd love if you could help us get a little bit higher. So congrats to the team that runs this show, and congrats to everyone that's learning and growing from it as well. We do have the most fun, just kidding, least fun part of the show where I have to shout out our sponsors, but we love our sponsors and they're all super small businesses and they're a lot of times guests on the show as well. Our first sponsors are super cool. You thought hair ties were boring and old. Introducing Whoopsie Hair Ties, where style meets resilience. They redefine the ordinary with their versatile, durable accessories. Check the link right now. Check out Whoopsie Hair Ties. The owner has been on our show. It's a cool, unique way to do hair ties. Add some style to your hair flips. Next sponsor is Reboot by Gone. Charles Smith is an awesome guy. He's been on our show as well. Multi-award-winning entrepreneur. This guy's legit. Published author and a motivational speaker. His message, Reboot My Way of Thinking. Charles provides invaluable tools for gaining clarity on identity and empowerment. Connect with him at the link being dropped right now. This next one's for women's empowerment coaching. Bonnie Hardy is amazing. She's been on our show, I think, twice now. Her knowledge is impeccable. She runs a women's empowerment group in Atlanta, Georgia. Fly in, stay at the Airbnb that she manages and owns, and learn about vision boards and her unique wheel of life. Go check her out, give her a like, and learn about women's and holistic empowerment today. Here we've got Lioness Proof Coaching. In a time when mediocrity is running rampant everywhere, Lioness Proof Coaching is here to help women up-level their health and unlock their inner lioness to have more energy, vitality, and longevity. Who doesn't want that? By looking at what's holding us back, like alcohol, boo, we can eliminate distractions and focus on what matters most in life. And laziness and excuses become a thing of the past. Go check out Linus Proof Coaching and grow. And our last sponsor for this episode is my brother, Eric Elm Law Office, best lawyer in Colorado. If you need any help with virtually anything, but specifically family law or immigration law, go check out the link being dropped right now. I'm wearing his little homage to him. He graduated from Emory Law School. Super solid. Call him. He gives his cell phone number out to anyone, and he answers just about any call. One of the best lawyers out there, always available. And the best part is the second best lawyer, arguably the first in Colorado, is his wife. So between the two of them, they'll be able to tackle any problems you have legally in Colorado. Go check them out. Say hi. Thank you so much for our sponsors. Now let's get into the real shit. Social health and boundaries. We're going to go on to our first guest here. His name is Gali. He lives on an island. He's a typical island boy. Get ready for this. What's up, Gali? Who are you?
Hi, Austin. Great to see you. I'm Gali Pratt. I'm a lifetime hospitality professional, uh, big liver of life, and pretty much, I love to operate businesses, find solutions for people, and take things from A to B all the way through Z. So.
A to B and through to Z. Oh, man, look at that. Gali's also a social expert. We're about to learn right now. Hey, Gali, if I had wanted to improve my social health with boundaries, what piece of advice would you give me?
So, my tip for improving social health through boundaries is to practice the pause and reflect method.
Pause and reflect. Tell us more about it.
So, I think it's really important, sometimes when decisions are going to be made or sometimes things are going to be said, it's really important for you to just take a moment to really consider if it's worth saying what you want to say. We have the options to do whatever we want, but, not every time is it something that's healthy for us necessarily.
Let me ask you this. So you're in the heat of the moment, right? You're talking about boundaries and social health. How do you remind yourself, or what triggers do you give? Golly, Lilith just said you look like Drake. Um, all right, so you're in the heat of the moment, right? How do you what do you do to remind yourself to pause and reflect? How do you make sure that you take your own advice?
Well, it's a little different
Stop
for
singing now.
everyone. Yeah, that's horrible, man. Not Drake, bro. That's bad timing.
I love
Um,
it.
but we all have our own triggers. We all know, when our eyebrows crimp. Everybody has a different trigger, what it is. So, whatever yours is, it's just really important to remind yourself and just take a deep breath through your nose. Just let it out. And really be really oh come on, the audience is killing you, man. You got to really take it seriously because not in terms of that, but the breathing, because it can bring a wealth of opportunity in your life, if you don't just go off on people and you don't take time to pause and reflect.
I have seen him use this in real life too when there's a little too much water on a soccer field, that's for sure. All right, let's
I
all
love
right,
it.
Golly. Where on your life journey did you learn this piece of advice? How'd you master it?
Great question. So I learned, the importance, in work. But it started, I had a colleague, by the name of Nuno, Portuguese guy, a little older than me. And, he just had the experience in life to just let me know, like, hey, you know, I used to come in with a head of steam and, like, I love your, dedication and things. And, you really work hard, but you alienate a lot of people by coming off very strong, and even if it's in the best intentions and you don't say anything wrong necessarily, it's just how you say it. And when he told me that, and he told me, sometimes just basic stuff, just take a breath, like, it really helped me out, and I saw that the results that I was getting out of my teams were, way better. And the social capital that you get in working with people, it's something like the stock market. It goes up and down every day, and the way you treat people, and the things you say, and how much you say, and how little you say, can really mean a lot. So I've gotten to really learn that through my years and experience through hospitality, because we're working with very young individuals. It's the it's the start of the of their work life. So it's been very impactful in my career, and I've been very happy to have shaped many careers under me.
Yeah, my bad for pointing out the your island boy look, man. Everyone went a little wild.
Oh, they're killing
golly,
me, man.
golly, very insightful though. I love that tip, man. That's huge. The pause and reflect. I mean, 10 seconds is like eternity when it can change your relationship and how it's gonna go.
100%.
Thank you so much. We're gonna put you backstage. We'll bring you back out in a couple of minutes. We're gonna move on to Ramses. Ramses.
Hey there.
What's your hair too?
My hair's gone.
Ramses, who are you?
Hey, I am a coach who helps coaches design their own businesses.
Coach,
I also love my
coaches
husband Mike
develop
and my
coaching
Westie
businesses.
dog. So
Sorry, say that again.
I also love my husband Mike and our Westie dog Z.
What is a Westie dog?
A Westie, a West Highland Terrier. It's a little
Okay.
like scraggly dog.
I can see that. All right. Little Westie. All right,
Yeah.
Ramses, let me ask you this. If I was wandering through life unhappy with my social health and I wanted some advice on how to improve it with boundaries, what simple tip would you give me?
The simple tip I would give you is learn to set boundaries with the people closest to you.
Good. Your inner circle.
Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
set boundaries with your inner, and hopefully the outer will follow. All right,
That's
tell us more
exactly.
about how we do that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because, well, you think about it, a lot of when you're going off to, at least my clients they're starting their businesses for the first time. Usually it's easy to set a boundary because you go to work and come back and people don't bother you or interrupt your work while you're gone. But if you're an entrepreneur, you kind of have all of your closest circle around you all the time. So you need to kind of protect your time and energy. And the way that I think is easiest to do that is using a calendar, because if you block off time, you could actually say, hey, I'm actually busy at this time. And it makes it very easy to say, I'm available after this. I prefer you come back at that time. So the calendar really helps you set a personal boundary. But if you're going to communicate it, I like to give this tip. Set it in two steps. First, state your preference on what you would like to happen with the person closest to you, and then state a consequence if that boundary is violated. So it sounds something like this. Hey, I prefer if you come back later. So like that I can get some work done. If you come in at this time, I'm just going to ask you to come back later. And so like that, you have a way of initiating a boundary and a way of executing a consequence that would essentially protect your time and energy.
Are you the guy that sends out a Calendly link anytime I want to meet with you?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, and this is the thing. I have an open communication with the people closest to me. I can count my best friends and family in one hand. Notice that there's
Okay.
4.
I
keep that inner circle.
list.
Yeah, my husband's on that list. I keep it really tight, and I really do communicate with them a boundary first, because I actually do care about them. So I do want to spend time with them. I do not want to be rushed when I'm with the people that are closest to me. And so if I'm able to set up a boundary with the people closest to me first, I'm able to get my work done as an entrepreneur, and then also have really quality time with them. And that's so important because we are people who are very social. And so in that sense, we do want to protect the social element of our life. We feel safe. We feel protected. Our amygdala just stops flaring up. We kind of feel like we're going to be safe in our little community. So mastering that is important, and having a really easy way to set those without feeling like you're going to like break all your relationships open when you set into entrepreneurship is kind of a good thing. So
awesome. So I'm going to leave a little piece of knowledge or advice with you, and then I'm going to put you backstage to think about it while we talk to Nick.
Okay.
A little concept I've been working on the last couple months is called, everyone talks about your ROI, but no one talks about your return on energy.
Ooh, good.
Yeah. Nick, Dr.
Hello,
Nick
hello.
Sotelo. Who are you, Nick?
I am Dr. Nick Sotelo. I am a men's anger coach. On top of that, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a professor, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist.
A men's anger coach. Damn, you are busy. Business must be booming.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, well, this sounds like you sound like the perfect person for this question. I'm glad you're on the show. If I wanted to improve my social health with boundaries, what piece of advice would you give me, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not going to be at the bottom of the tactics and tools. I like to start at the top, right? So
Okay.
it's the philosophy and principles. So I think that the core thing that anybody needs to work on is you got to know who you are, and you got to know actually what you want. You have to have clarity on what you want. If you don't have clarity on those two things, who you are and what you want, it doesn't matter what tools or strategies you're using, you won't know why you're using them, right? So you lock in those two things, then start using your tactics and tools. So that way you can decide, is this thing that I'm going to use, that I'm going to buy, that I'm going to employ, is it actually getting me closer to what it is that I say that I want, that's informed by who I am?
All right. Wait, can you say that last sentence just again?
Yep. Yeah. Every day we got all these little decisions we got to make, right? You were just talking about, do you use a calendar link for everything, right? Well, if we don't know who you are, and if you don't know what you actually want, you don't know how to make decisions on a day-to-day basis. And that's why you end up making decisions that actually run you away from what you actually want all the time, right? It's because you didn't start from a point of clarity. Who am I? What do I actually want? Then you can start making informed decisions that actually move you closer to what it is that you want every single day.
Very awesome. All right, Nick. Well, it sounds like this next question might take a while, but where on your life journey did you learn this?
Well, I picked it up a lot of different places, right? Had a lot of opportunities to learn it. I worked in youth corrections, right? And so working with wayward boys who were lost, and they didn't have anyone there to guide them. So that's where I kind of had to figure that out on the fly to help kids that are like in the midst of it. It's a make it or break it type scenario. Of course, I was young too. I was in my early 20s going through that phase and having to learn this stuff myself going along the ways. But in terms of the actual clarity that I have for it right now, comes from my own coaching experiences, my own mentorship experiences, and the things that I had to do to make sure that I understood who I was, what I actually needed and wanted in my life, and then how do I get closer to it systematically, day by day.
Awesome. Wow, Nick. All right. Well, I think it's going to be a good practice to bring everyone else out and have a little round robin discussion. I think we've got three awesome guests here. We'll bring Golly and Ramsey's back out. All right, guys, let's start with, hey, Golly, can you quickly refresh what your tip was?
Yeah, so mine was pause and reflect.
Pause and reflect. Ramsey's, what is your thought on that?
My thought on pause and reflect is that's absolutely brilliant. My background is helping folks with panic attacks. I was first a panic attack coach. And pausing and reflecting is just one of the most powerful things you could do. I really agree with this. I mean, I'm going to tell people that I like how you concisely stated it. When you pause and reflect, you kind of just give yourself time to collect your emotions as well. Because like, if you just start shooting off, you could have a consequence you don't intend to happen. And for my coaches, like they're setting boundaries and setting up their businesses for the first time, you don't want to blow up your relationships because like I said earlier, we're social creatures and we really need our network to not feel dangerous to us. So I really love that. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I wish everyone would take that. I'm definitely the guy in the middle of a conflict that takes like a day to think about and process things and then comes back to you. And man, my ex was definitely the, you got 30 seconds to respond or this is going to blow up in your face, motherfucker.
Yikes.
Nick, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, pause and reflect is a great tool. So what I would add to it is, what are you pausing and reflecting on? And I'm going to say,
okay.
who are you and what is your goal in this moment?
Who are you and what is your goal in this moment? Who are you and what is your goal? Wow. All right. So yeah, that a little level up, pause, reflect. Who am I? Kind of like, what are my core values? And what am I trying
Absolutely.
to achieve in this? Am I trying to make this person hate me forever because I hate them? Maybe. But most likely that's not your answer. Awesome. Hey, Ramses, can you real quick refresh what your tip was?
Yes, start off setting boundaries with the people closest to you.
All right. Nick, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so that's about how do you guard your resources. I know you and him got into that as well, right? And so the people that you have closest to you need to be giving life into you, into what you're trying to do, and not sucking it away from you. So I think that's a great piece of advice for sure.
And Golly, what are your thoughts on that tip?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a really strong tip because, that's exactly where it usually a lot of, the tension comes from,
Yeah.
especially, in my culture, my experience, when my parents are both, from other countries, and they're all so incredibly, they care very much, but, there's boundaries to that. And I think that point really draws on that.
And Nick, can you quickly refresh what your tip was for us?
Yeah, absolutely. It's doing the deep work to get clear on who you are and what it is that you actually want in this life.
Ramsey's thoughts.
Who you are and what you want in this life. It reminds me of this quote I heard from Oprah recently on my feed. She said, "People get what they want when they know what they want," and I think that's an incredible tip that Nick gave, because the clarity, like, you could only go in a direction if you know what the end point is, right? It could be your filter. You kind of make decisions really easily about what you should be doing, because every action now gets in line with that end goal. I just think it's something that I really love, and I do agree with a lot. So great work, Nick.
And Nick, that's actually really resonating with you a lot. I mean, you can think about that on the day to day. You can think of that task by task. And obviously, all of us, I mean, most people think somewhat of the future. Like, hey, when I'm 80, I want to be a multimillionaire, or whatever this goal is. I do like how you just simplify that and make that, like, man, to the point. And it can change every day. I mean, this is something when I coach too is the core values, and I have you reassess them every 6 months because your life changes. You may really think work ethic's the number one thing, and then you might think giving back is the number one thing, whatever it is. But who are you? I mean, that question can change fucking every hour. And what do you want from this exact moment? What do you want from this show? What do you want from the next question I ask Golly? Lots of options up there. Lots of options. Golly, what are your thoughts on that?
Listen, I mean, that's like, honestly, that's one of the most, core things to life, and honest, I thought that was one of the strongest points, today is that one, because, it's kind of like the guide rails to life. If you're just kind of, and this is really important, especially for this newer generation coming along, where there's so much stimuli, and like, they're like this, they're like radar scanners everywhere. And, I think when you break it down to the basic and, who am I, right? Like, what am I trying to attain in this life? There's only so much time, and it goes like that, like we start aging, and like, wow, it's impressive. It only goes faster. It's so important really to, like, just focus in, and like, truthfully, it's like, it's no good just to, have just easy, serotonin. There's achievement, and then, there's somewhere, in between where, we all lie. And obviously, the more you achieve, the serotonin actually comes right back around, because, achievement is one of the best producers of consistent serotonin. It's just getting things done, putting things, like that you wanted to do, into fruition.
Such a simple tip, Nick, and you just like enlightened all of us.
Yeah.
That went so deep, Golly. It went so deep.
Yeah, I mean, who are you? Like, a question. I mean, I guess it's a very spiritual and then existential question, but it's a good one. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
Simple doesn't
almost
mean
every
easy.
morning you should start off every morning just saying, "Who am I, and what do I want to do with today?" You know,
Eat.
just set that fucking intention. You know, every coach everywhere in the
Yeah.
world's like 5 minutes of gratitude, which I do and believe in. 5 minutes of visualization, but I mean, my visualization tomorrow morning, I bet you I'm just gonna be like, who the fuck am I? What am I doing today? Who am I today? You know, try to break it down nice and neat. I love that, Nick.
Not
All
for
right, guys.
nothing.
Go ahead.
My dad, not for nothing. My dad used to say that, like
Okay.
growing up until now, he says the same thing. You know, who are you?
Who are you?
Right? Yeah, and what are you trying to do? Right, like same tip. It's such a good one, man. That's
It goes back to the Oracle of Delphi, right? This is over 2,000 years old. First thing up there is know thyself, right? So
that's creative. You said the Oracle of Delphi?
yeah. Back in the ancient
thyself.
times when the Greeks were trying to figure out their lives and they go to the Oracle. Before you even go to talk to the Oracle, it's right there on the inscription before you pass through. Know thyself.
Know thyself. I mean, it's a question as a collective entity, we've been trying to answer for, forever, every philosopher ever. But the fact that you can just start your morning off and answer that question to yourself for that day, at least, if not for the next 6 months, year, it essentially just goes with every goal setting strategy you have. Who am I? Who do I want to be? I always tell everyone, you and your future self need to be best friends. So what you're doing now, if your future self is going to look back and be like, God damn it, I wish I didn't do that. You probably shouldn't be doing that now.
Right. Yeah. And you're always going to have to course correct. You're always going to have to course correct. Sometimes you figure those things out along the way. So it's not like it's a perfect straight line. It's definitely a curvy, wavy line, right? But it's those two questions that will bring you back to the course that you need to be on, whether you know what that is or not, and from moment to moment.
Yeah, I love it. And I mean, it could be outside factors, inside factors. There's a lot of things that go on in life. And so trying to recenter yourself and reground yourself, can certainly help. And also, being clear and transparent with that helps your social health. You'll attract people that have the same views, same values, same guides,
Right.
It's real hard to especially for me right now, it's hard to find someone that's friendly, that's drunk 90% of their life. Those people are no longer in my circle. 2 years ago, that's all I hung out with was just party years all the time. And damn, it's a lot better life nowadays. All right, guys, we got about 2.5 minutes. We got to come up with our daily challenge. It's got to take less than 5 minutes, cost $0, and be available to anyone from Tanzania to Siberia. What thoughts do we have? Thank you, Dominating. This show is amazing. These guests are great. We're going to drop some more knowledge here. What's our challenge, guys?
I think that we should start off with picking a person each day to have a conversation about your actual feeding off of what Nick said, communicate who you are that day. I think it'll get you to practice just reflect on it and then communicate it. And like that, it's a safe, I think, introductory way to start learning how to share your boundaries by virtue of the energy that you're putting into what your goal is. You asked me earlier what the return on energy is. And I wanted to circle back to that. Is we're putting so much time and energy into creating what we want that it's worth kind of everything we do create in terms of our social health. We should be able to keep it and grow it. So I think practicing that daily would be pretty cool for 5 days.
Okay. Thoughts, Golly and Nick?
I would say pick up a core values exercise. They're out there. You can search them. They're all pretty much the same, but really do it with intention this time, right? And then once you have that established, just like you were talking about, Austin, you can start and stop your day with your core values. And for me, that's how you operationalize who am I, right? There's lots of ways to doing that. I think core values is a great way of doing it. Start and stop your day. Start your day saying, the day that I think I'm going to have, because we don't know 100%, where will my core values show up the most? Okay. Then when you end your day, when I look at the day that I had, all the things that it was and things that I had to adapt to, was I true to my core values or not? If you were, great, express some gratitude to yourself and to others. If not, then you know what you need to do tomorrow.
I like it. Yeah. Core values for me are massive. And I think they fit with boundaries so hard. And it makes it easier for you to rationalize. If someone treats you like shit, a lot of times we're like, oh, maybe they had a bad day. Maybe I approached it wrong. sometimes you go back and you go, no, this is my core value. I don't deal with that. Like, done and gone, and you don't have to sit there and stress about someone that just doesn't fit your life for days on end. I love that you brought up the core values, Nick. That's huge. Gali, any thoughts on the daily challenge?
Yeah. Every day in the morning, I like to kind of go through, my list of conversations and see exactly what's going on, and what exactly is my thought process behind what I'm doing. So I like to assess my relationships and just see if we're contributing to the overall success of myself, because back to that center point, we only have so much time, right, that we can allocate. And just assessing where you're going every day in the overall sense, is very important. But I think that's one important tip.
So kind of checking your last 10 conversations, just kind of refreshing your memory on where they were and where they landed.
Right.
That. That's good for your social health. Maybe even dropping a couple, hellos here and there to make sure things are still growing and relationships are progressing.
That's I think, as much as we have access, it's so easy to reach out to someone. Now it swings around, and people, don't want to, but yeah, exactly like you said, right? Assessing that list, and why has it been so long that I haven't talked to this person? Oh my God, it's been like 6 months now.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it's going to be 3 years. You know what I mean? They're out forever. So it's, you got to make decisions on your time allocation. So
I think that's a huge point. It's easier than ever to connect with people, and yet I feel like we're utilizing it less and less.
Yeah.
I mean, you should almost we should just get an AI that sends out 10 text messages to to people we haven't talked to 6 months or more. And just start that conversation. All right, Ramses, after hearing that, what do you think our daily challenge should be?
Well, like I said, I think we should reach out to someone every single day.
Okay.
I kind of like that, relating it to what Gali said.
That's what I was thinking.
That if you're auditing your past 10 conversations from yesterday, maybe continue that connection, because chances are you're talking to them, and there's going to be some reward for you for having that connection. So, yeah.
All right, here's a wild challenge. Let's see how you guys like it. What if we every day we text, call, whatever, message, contact, probably text is easiest. Contact somebody you haven't talked to in over 3 months and tell them one of your core values.
Oh, I like that. I'm game. That's cool.
Nice
You
job,
like that,
Austin.
Nick?
Nice job.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I like that one.
And I mean, if you haven't talked in 3 months, hopefully you're still close enough. But a random text out of the blue that's like, hey, one of my core values is honesty. What are your thoughts on that? Or something like that. They may take it as whoa, are you calling me out? So maybe put it a little bit light, just saying, hey, I just wanted to reach out and just let you know I'm working on core values or something like that. Don't attack these people. But I mean, reach out to someone you haven't talked to in 3 months and just say, yo, one of my core values is communication. So I thought I would reach out and say hi to you because I haven't talked to you in a while. That'd be a good way to put it.
Yeah. And my background is mental health, right? And so I can tell you there's a lot of people every day that wake up and think that nobody gives a shit about them. So a message like that could actually save their life.
It's so true. And I mean, I see that all the time. And, in sobriety, people trying to go sober, people, obviously entrepreneurship, you lose a shitload of your friends and you learn who your friends are.
You do.
Wait, why are you guys still shopping at Walmart? I have a business. Walmart's easier. Whatever bullshit excuse they have. You learn real fast when you go sober or when you start a business, who actually gives a fuck about you.
It's so true. It's so true. Yeah.
Yeah. It can be a lonely road for sure. I think that's a great point. So I think that's a good challenge. I think that's gonna be unique and fun and stir up a lot of cool conversations.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, let me make it official. Daily challenge: text someone you haven't spoke to in 3 or more months and share one of yours. So that also forces you to have your core values. If you don't have them, then I guess you're going to have to do one of Nick's tests. Nick, do you have one on your website or something, a core value exercise?
I do more so in my YouTube, but I definitely will put it up there after we get off of this.
All right, so go check out Nick. Go follow his Facebook, whatever. Message him and say, "Yo, where's that core value exercise?" Get your core values down. If you aren't living life with core values, you're probably a little confused and don't have many boundaries. So core values is the first start. We also did an episode a little while ago, so go to millionairesaremade.com and check out our core values episode, and you can learn a little bit about it. And then once you're there, work on your boundaries, and we're going to go and share a core value with someone you haven't talked to in 3 months to improve your social health and teach them about boundaries. Awesome. Guys, we did it. That's all we had to do. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. What a great episode. So much fun. Thanks for all the bombs. This one we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 different clips that are coming out. So we'll share that all with you guys. Thank you, audience. I'm going to put these guys backstage real quick. And I'm going to say thank you all so much for watching Millionaires Are Made. This episode was on social health and boundaries. Hopefully you learned a little bit. I know a lot of people are struggling with boundaries, struggling with, being mistreated, not having a strong inner circle. So hopefully we gave you a little piece of something to help you learn. Join us in the daily challenge. I think this is really going to help you. Teaching other people and telling other people about your core values is going to be phenomenal. You're going to watch your social health grow. You're going to watch your relationships grow. It's going to be a little bit of a wild ride in the first couple of days till you get the hang of it. And I feel like it's something that I may actually keep doing forever. I might add it to my morning routine. Super powerful daily challenge. It's going to be fun. I hope you join us. And once again,